Good evening, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. This is Rich again, back for your third and final video blog of the night for Thursday, January 21st, 2015, around 8:13 in the evening in Berwick, Massachusetts. It's cold out, and tomorrow's going to be sunny, but highs close to freezing. Saturday, it's going to be partly sunny, then chance of snow, but most of southern New England will be spared of the fringes of the blizzard that's going to hit the mid-Atlantic and New York and Philadelphia. So the I-95 corridor is going to have so much delays and cancellations. Nobody's going anywhere in the mid-Atlantic states this weekend. Up to 3 feet of snow. We won't get it. Good for us for right now. Some news to report. Boston University is selling 9 buildings in Kenmore Square area, including the Barnes & Noble bookstore and the building that has the sickle sign on top. Also, the New York Rangers are going to sign Daniel Pye to a contract. Oilers defenseman Andrew Ference is going to miss the rest of the year with a hip injury. And the NBA has announced its starting lineup for the All-Star Game, which will be played in Toronto, Canada, at the Air Canada Centre in February. That game's going to be on TNT with Marv Albert calling it. And here are the starters for the Western Conference. It's Kawhi Leonard of the San Antonio Spurs, Stephen Curry of the Golden State Warriors, Kobe Bryant of the Los Angeles Lakers, Kevin Durant of the Oklahoma City Thunder, and Russell Westbrook of the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Eastern Conference All-Stars are as follows: LeBron James of the Cleveland Cavaliers, Carmelo Anthony of the New York Knicks, Dwayne Wade of the Miami Heat, Paul George of the Indiana Pacers, and Kyle Lowry of the Toronto Raptors. Those 10 players were voted on by the fans. The reserves will be announced next week on TNT before the basketball games. Hopefully a Celtics player will get in. Isaiah Thomas is a top candidate. And that's about it on the news. My third and final video blog subject of the night is my personality profile. Tonight's personality profile is former Minnesota Twins first baseman Kent hrbek. Kent played all 14 seasons with the Minnesota Twins, and he was a popular player. He was one of their best players in history. Kent was born and he grew up in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And then he went to high school in Bloomington, Minnesota. And he grew up a Minnesota Twins fan. He saw a lot of the games at the old Metropolitan Stadium. He played baseball in high school. And Twins drafted Kent in the 17th round of the 1978 Major League Baseball amateur draft. He spent 3 seasons in the Twins minor league system. And these are his stats: 318 hitter, 47 home runs, 111 RBIs, and playing 253 minor league games. He was a first baseman. He made his major league debut on August 24th, 1981. He hit a home run in his first major league game, and he spent all 14 seasons with the Minnesota Twins. He was nicknamed Herbie. Very popular Twins player. Here are some of the career stats that Kent had. 10 times he had 20 or more home runs in a season. 5 times he had 90 RBIs. 5 times he had 150 hits or more hits in a season. 4 times he had 80 or more runs scored. 10 seasons he had 20 or more doubles. 3 seasons he had a 300 or better average. He only made one All-Star team. That was back in 1982. He finished runner-up for American League's Rookie of the Year that year, behind Cal Ripken Jr., and he finished one time in the top 5 of MVP voting. That was 1984. Runner-up to Willie Hernandez of the Detroit Tigers. Kent was a very popular player in Minnesota. He was known for hitting clutch home runs, being an underrated fielder as a first baseman. Kent played on 2 World Series championship teams, one in 1987, one in 1991. Kent had some injuries during his career, but he played through them. And also, he was like a quality first baseman. He's like very, very underrated. And he retired after the 1994 season. After the Major League Baseball strike, he decided to retire because he was old. He was getting up there. He was only 34 when he retired, but he was having nagging injuries. Plus, he wanted to spend more time with his family. His career stats are .282, 293 home runs. That's second most in Minnesota Twins history, behind Harlem Killebrew, and 1,086 RBI, 1,749 hits, 212 doubles, and 903 runs scored. After Kent retired, his number 14 was retired by the Minnesota Twins. He made the Minnesota Sports Hall of Fame in 1999, and in 2000 he was on the Hall of Fame ballot for the first time. First and only time. He didn't get the necessary 5% of the votes to stay on, so he was removed from the Baseball Hall of Fame ballot, but the Minnesota Twins named him to their Hall of Fame in 2000. And also, he was named to the all-time Metrodome team in 2009. Kent is an avid hunter and fisherman, and for many, many years, Kent hosted an outdoor show called Kent Hrbek's Outdoors on Fox 9 in Minneapolis, St. Paul for many years in the 2000s. It ran from 2003 to 2009. And Kent is very, very popular in charity. He raises money for ALS, that's Lou Gehrig's disease, through having golf tournaments, raising money for ALS research. Plus, during the winter months, he has a snowmobile race for raising money for ALS charity. And that's about it on Kent Hrbek. And that's about it on these video blogs, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Tomorrow, you're going to get 3 more video blogs. Three time. First video blog will be about the NFL Network. Second video blog will be about MBTA commuter rail route from South Station to Worcester, Framingham. And the third and final video blog of the night, the last personality profile for the month of January, is the late great former professional wrestler and manager and WWE announcer Lord Alfred Hayes. Promotional consideration paid for by the following. Don't forget Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. If you want any shout-outs or plugs or whatever, send it me private message. It will be shouted out and plugged. Don't send me a message. It's not going to get plugged or shouted out. Keep calm, everybody. I'm a Julie Button guy. Molly Rosenblatt, a fox of WCCO in Minneapolis, St. Paul, rocks and has nice legs. Elizabeth Hart's the best. Barbara Gibbs of ABC 11 in Raleigh, North Carolina, has a sweet southern accent, and she's got nice legs as well. Amy Swenzy of Wish 2 rocks. And in the words of Bruce Cronin, former co-worker at Hart Hank State Technology, want to put a wager on that, Richie. Good night. See you tomorrow.